Coming soon to own on
YouTube and Twitch.
It was only 48 seconds anyways.
From beatings that require a trip to the hospital,
You lazy wine-loving bisexual!
to rodeo-style Stan Smith and Peter Griffin are clearly both absolute scumbags to their families, but who's more... These are the questions I'd like to ask myself. Today, I'm comparing all
It's definitely Peter.
these jerks have put their families
Stan's
through to
abuse
find
is just
out.
like him
Each
just
dad
not
will get
listening
1
to
point
everybody.
every time they hit a family member, so let the battle of the world fathers commence. First up, Peter. I don't think there will ever be a more iconic Family Guy episode than Dial Meg for Murder. You know the one. It's when Meg gets out of prison and beats the fracking frick out of Peter.
Made him bite
My
the
house
curb.
now.
You'd think a beating like that would have taught Peter a lesson about abusing his kids, but not even 24 hours passed by, and he's back to literally punching babies in the face.
Fatso, punch your baby in the face.
I did
Wait,
good,
no,
Meg.
hold
How is
on.
Stewie even alive at this?
He was forced. Okay, he was forced. I'm just saying. You know, he was forced by his own daughter, but it's like, you know, if your daughter made you bite the curb and stomped on your shit, like, you're gonna do it. What she said, like, oh, my fault. Nah, you got it, bro. You punch that baby. Hey, don't do it again.
This point. Like, babies can literally die from being shaken, but somehow this little dude has survived being punched by a 500-pound hog, getting ran over,
Oh my God, Stewie!
being whacked with a tennis racket.
Nah, Stewie got some
Ow,
crazy
you can
feats.
beat me, but I am who I am!
And remember that time Peter threw Brian and him out the frackin' window? Catching herpes from Brian should have been the worst thing that happened to baby Stewie in the episode Herpy the Love Sore, but unfortunately
insane.
Peter had stolen a whip he found in Quagmire's mail.
Hey, Dad, that's a cool whip.
I thought you couldn't understand me!
Speaking of whips, let's check out the American Dad episode, The Missing Kink. Steve gets spanked by his father for ruining his suit.
Now go to your room!
I do not approve of your methods!
Yes, we're counting spanking. After his
on.
crying son runs away, clutching his butt
But
cheeks,
that's
Stan also
discipline,
spanks
though.
his wife Francine, but he won't get a point for that one because she enjoys it too much. Desperate to satisfy the kink she's just unearthed, Francine volunteers to take all of Steve's spankings on his behalf from now on. She frames her kid for a bunch of stuff, but comes clean after Stan catches her throwing a bike through the window. Being a devout Christian who hasn't done anything else but the position for the last 20 years, Stan obviously doesn't take kindly to Francine's spanking fetish.
Thou who tricketh thine husband shall be banished to the depths of hell!
That's not in the Bible. Let me see that.
While Stan is far from even average intelligence, he's not as dumb as Peter. The episode Hurricane showed us just how moronic the guy can be, though, and he came pretty darn close to dethroning Mr. Griffin as the dumbest cartoon character in history. Hurricane Flozell has just broke the Langley Falls seawall.
Nah,
Now,
he was
it would
just
be a
doing
good
dumb
time to
decision after dumb
evacuate, but
decision.
Stan thinks he can save the family by tipping the house upside down and almost drowning Haley and Jeff. Francine, Roger, and Steve save them by fashioning a rope out of curtains, but it breaks before anyone can climb back up. Luckily, Stan has more Einstein-level ideas up his sleeve, like opening the frackin' window.
Okay, that window it is.
But they agreed on that. Multiple people agreed to open the window. Even though it was a bad idea, they agreed on it.
Thank you, Haley.
Dad was wrong!
While his loved ones battle a shark, Stan sulks in the kitchen feeling embarrassed about all the dumb ideas he's had today. But after a little pep talk from Klaus, he's determined to save the family. No more dumbass ideas. This time, he's gonna make the right call.
I let the bear in to kill the shark.
Bad idea.
You're working in tandem!
Honestly, let's give this Dad of the Year a point for setting a frackin' grizzly on his own son. The Smiths now have to fend off two dangerous animals. Poor Roger's already lost his girlfriend, his sweatshirt, and all his wigs in this storm, so almost getting cremated by Stan really was just the cherry on top of a perfect day.
I'll make the right call. I'm gonna electrocute him!
Francine yells at her husband to get help and to stop coming up with ideas that almost get everyone killed. Who the hell does she think she is telling the crisis expert what to do in a crisis? Stan's idea is way better.
I'll harpoon the bear, and the bear blood will distract the shark, and we can escape!
After saying sorry for harpooning his own wife, Stan steps outside to see how badly the storm-damaged Langley Falls is, but now he's in the middle of nowhere with brand new neighbors.
I don't even know where the hell I am.
A black and a white talking as if it's normal!
Peter, what are you doing? You know me.
Stan, have you?
So
And this was the closest we ever got to a crossover episode.
When's the divorce happening? Stan rarely pays attention to his kids. Haley's smart enough to know that's a good thing, but Steve is desperate for his dad's attention. In the episode Every Which Way But Lose, scrawny Steve joins the football team just so Stan will come and watch him play. While the plan was to impress his old man and get a well-deserved pat on the back, the kid ends up getting assaulted instead.
Are we having a father-son moment?
We were. You ruined it by mentioning it.
Splinter!
Stan's abuse doesn't go unnoticed, and he's hired as the new football coach. Steve ruined the moment again, though.
I'll coach my boys' team.
You called me your boy!
Quit ruining moments.
It takes less than 24 hours for Coach Stan to call his kid a loser to his face and swiftly cut him from the team without a second thought. Roger finds Steve bawling his eyes out, and the two of them team up and vow to make Stan cry like a little baby. He's a tough guy, nobody's ever seen him cry before, so this puny little bitch slap really wasn't gonna do jack, was it?
Take that, sir! Behold, a grown man weeping like...
Yeah, Roger kind of deserved that one, didn't he? Moving on to the episode next of Penn, the news announces that a teenage boy has been found guilty of murdering his father. Francine blames the death on his dad, not spending enough time with his kid, and as Stan spends almost zero time with his own son, begins to worry that he'll turn on him one day.
That's it. We're hanging out. If you're gonna kill anyone in this family, it's gonna be only Francine.
What? Don't talk back to your father.
Steve and his dad share some quality father-son bonding time, like flying kites, getting their nipples pierced, and playing
What?
basketball. Stan realizes his son has a knack for bowling and gets him to Langley Lane's pronto. He goes on to win the father-son tournament, and Stan is
Then
so
he had
proud
his
he
son
actually
get
hugs
stabbed.
his son. Good things always come to an end, though, and Stan becomes so resentful of Steve's bowling career that he grabs a knife, and, well, this clip is pretty self-explanatory, really. The fact that that's not even the worst thing Stan has done to Steve is just insane. Both Stan and Peter have talented kids. Meg's an Olympic skier who's been training since she had a different voice actor.
Where you going?
Are you kidding? The Olympic qualifiers are today. I'm competing.
Why is this the first we're hearing about this?
It's not.
And Steve, well, he just sings like a little angel.
Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see there was something in everything about you. Yeah.
In the episode Country Club, the teen is selected to sing the national anthem of the Langley Falls
yeah,
Veterans
he
Day
ruined his
celebration.
voice in this
Stan
one.
thinks the performance will be soulless and empty if Steve doesn't experience war firsthand, so he sends his 14-year-old son to a hardcore Vietnam War reenactment. And it's so realistic, the kid literally comes home with shell shock.
Say, can you see? I can't see them. They're in the trees.
Steve, snap out of it.
Stan definitely deserves a point for psychologically abusing his son, so let's add one. Being mentally 12 years old, wait, that's too high. 5. Peter loves playing games, and the more annoying they are to other people, the better, really. In the episode Chap Stewie, Stewie is pumped to watch the season finale of his favorite TV show, The Cadwalladers of Essex. Now, if you think Downtown Abbey is gripping stuff, trust me, you're gonna love this.
I would like to learn to bathe myself.
What?
Everything I've ever heard is vexing.
Oh, this is the fastest moving episode I've ever seen!
Stewie's happier than that time he thought he killed Lois.
Something I should have done a very long time ago.
Fast forward a bit, and Peter completely ruins his night by playing Unga Bunga, a game where two idiots.
Off topic, but do y'all remember when Stewie was only about trying to kill Lois? Like, his only thing he used to want to do was just kill Lois. I like how they made the switch, though. I'm not gonna lie, because like now it's like he's more intelligent baby, but he still has a baby side, and he's not really trying to always kill Lois, but he just doesn't like her at time to times. Versus, he always wanted her dead.
run into each other with mattresses.
Chris, look, Mom's naked!
Where?
You creep.
I used to think the worst thing Stan ever did to Haley was trying to kill her. More on that later. But after the episode, The Mural of the Story, now I'm not so sure. Stan wants to restore the vandalized Langley Falls mural and does the job himself despite having zero artistic talent. At the grand unveiling, his work looks like something a class of first graders produced, but rather than admitting that he just sucks, he lets Haley take all the blame.
Dad, stand up for me. Tell them I didn't do it.
The whole town turns against her, and now she can't even leave the house without getting pelted with ice cream. Instead of coming
Nah,
clean,
that was
though, Stan
crazy.
decides to perform a DIY facial reconstructive surgery on his daughter so she can get on with her life, and most importantly, nobody will ever find out he's responsible for the terrible mural. After knocking Haley unconscious and taking her down to his basement of horrors, Dr. Stan performs a non-consensual surgery and botches it even more than his pathetic artwork.
How hard can it be? Let's start by reshaping the old eyes. Tap, tap. Oh, eyeballs bulge in just a bit. No problem. Just need to even it out. Okay, that one really came out. Might as well really get in there with a scalpel then, and there goes the face. That's okay, gotta get worse before it gets better.
Stan felt very guilty about turning his daughter into a hideous monster and apologized by creating a mural in her honor. That alone would make you think he's a better father than Peter Griffin, but that's not what the scores are saying. Right now, Stan's got 12 points for abuse. Peter's only got 10. And to me, it feels like I've been talking about Stan way more than Peter, and for Peter to only be trailing behind by 2 says a lot in my opinion. But we got more cases of abuse
Peter's
to
gonna take
go.
it to the
Who
end, though,
knows
and
which
come back, I'm telling you.
jackass will come out on top. There's nothing more precious in this world than a baby's laughter, and nothing makes Stewie laugh more than seeing Lois in agonizing pain. In the episode The Courtship of Stewie's Father, Lois asks Peter to spend more time with Stewie. Taking him to a strip club and leaving him in a boiling hot car definitely wasn't what she had in mind.
There's no better place for a father and son to get to know each other than a ball game.
Where is Stewie?
Is that a baby in there?
Oh my
left
God,
a
he's
baby
gonna
in
miss
the
the
car.
game.
Neither was knocking her out with groceries.
You want some beans with that, right?
Peter, what's wrong with you?
Wait, Lois, don't.
Attacking her with a hose. Or drowning her in a lake.
I told you, Peter will always make that comeback.
At
Peter
this
was
point,
way
I'm
worse.
convinced Lois has like 9 lives or something. Apart from that time, Chris got sucked into an 80s music video.
Chris, would you run and get some milk? And be sure to take it from the back.
And Peter got lost.
Didn't you get lost in the grocery store last week?
Are you okay?
Nothing crazy ever really happens at the Quahog grocery store. The same can't be said for the Red State grocery in Langley Falls, because a woman was literally crushed to death by shopping carts in the episode Not Particularly Desperate Housewives. Francine is kind enough to adopt the dead lady's orphan dog, and Fussy is just the cutest little doggy in town. At first, Stan is way too insecure about his masculinity to let Francine keep her furry friend.
This is Fussy.
No way, Francine. We're Smiths, and Smiths have manly dogs. This dog couldn't be any more effeminate, even if it had 20...
But after learning that Fussy likes to bite Roger's butt, he falls in love with the new pup instantly. Stan wants the best for his fur baby and blows through all of Roger's food budget buying dog treats. The alien eats them and starts smelling like bacon. Now Fussy can't resist licking him. Stan becomes so jealous that his baby's in love with Roger now and sheds a little tear. A cult of murdering housewives is currently trying to kill Francine. This super protective husband is well aware of that, but rushes straight to the pet store right when she's counting on him the most. The worker tells Stan he can make Fussy love him again by establishing himself as the alpha, but I don't think this is what really he meant.
I'm the alpha male. Love me!
Fussy ran away after that to live with a homeless man, and that must be why Stan hates those guys' guts so much. Brian will happily help himself to all of Lois's white wine, but he's super possessive about his own stuff. In the episode Brian
God,
the
this was
Closer,
crazy.
Peter wants to play with Brian's old rope toy, but he can go to hell. Instead of going to his job, Peter spends days trying to get this useless bit of rope, and the obsession becomes so unhealthy, he transforms into Gollum. One day, he tries to steal the rope by tying it to his car, but Brian won't let go, even if it means losing all of his teeth.
All right, I
Which he
warned
did.
you.
Does anybody else think Brian kind of looks like Jesse now? I always felt bad for that dog. I bet he's seen some dark stuff. Meg bears the brunt of Peter's abuse for simply existing, but that doesn't mean Chris is safe from the father of fury. In the episode Finders Keepers, everyone in Quahog is trying to find real buried treasure, and Chris and Meg turn against their own parents, knowing Peter will never share the gold if he finds it. They race to Block Island on a jet ski, but the rest of the town has already beaten them there. It looks like everybody's going to be walking away empty-handed, though. I mean, what kind of scumbag is actually going to dig up a dead kid's grave just for a few gold coins? Oh, I know. The same a-hole who thinks it's totally okay to give his own son a black eye.
I'm just saying, I know it's messed up, but I know a lot of people out there would 100% would dig up a dead little boy's grave if they knew there was if there was $5 million in that grave just sitting in gold. I know there's gonna be at least about a couple thousand of people trying to dig up that grave.
Treasure's in the casket. Come on, Meg, let's get it.
One thing that separates Stan from Peter is that he isn't a lazy slob who spends his free time sitting on his fat ass watching TV. Dude literally climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in the episode Old Stan in the Mountain. Steve and Haley barely made it back down alive, though. Stan is up to his usual antics, being a total jerk, this time to an old man holding up the line at a camping store.
The only thing this geezer's gonna climb into is a lukewarm bath his Filipino nurse drew for him. He'll yell at her for making it too hot, but she knows it's just right.
Stan messed with the wrong person person that day, and his douchebaggery gets him hissed. The next morning, he wakes up as a wrinkly, frail 75-year-old man in need of a hearing aid. Stan believes the only way to break the curse is to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, but the journey goes a little haywire when he starts to believe Haley and Stan are plotting to kill him.
We should kill him. Put him out of his misery.
Oh my God, they took me out here to kill me. Well, guess what, kids? I'm gonna kill you before you kill me.
That night, Stan tries to stab Steve in his sleep, but falls asleep. The next morning, he tries to set both his kids on fire, but falls asleep again. After another good nap, Stan is finally ready to do some serious Smith slaughtering.
Thank you for helping an old man. Now this!
What are you doing?
Killing you before you kill me!
Steve and Haley should really have been able to get away from a 75-year-old geriatric by walking at a reasonable pace, but their dad is apparently the Usain Bolt of senior citizens and chases them all the
I mean, to be fair, he is a CIA agent. It's still in his body.
way to the top of Kilimanjaro. Haley falls down the mountain, and honestly, her fate seems a whole lot less painful than what happens to Steve.
I'm almost at the top!
Reaching the top doesn't make Stan young again, but the hex finally gets broken when he learns to have empathy for old people. I guess he still needs to work on being a massive racist, though.
All right, Dad, think. What was the last interaction you had with a black person?
It was at the T-Mobile store, and it was not positive.
Apart from that watermelon costume he wore to the office,
I just wanted to tell you, that's a great outfit. Keep it up.
things don't usually turn out well for Peter Griffin. However, in the episode Peter's Lost Youth, he was lucky enough to win a vacation for two to
when he
Fenway
broke
Park.
Lois'
The winner gets to
leg.
hang out and practice with retired Red Sox players. Peter takes Lois assuming she's bad at baseball and will make him look better by comparison, but she's apparently a natural and he sucks so much he can't even keep his pants up.
Griffin, you're up. It's always the fat one.
Peter becomes bitterly jealous of the attention Lois is getting from players he admires. Now he's determined to break her spirit for baseball and also her bones.
Yeah!
Peter beating up Chris's bully for him was illegal, but kind of thoughtful, I guess.
You're a poop nose.
Stan's gonna have to punch himself in the face if he wants to beat up Steve's bully, though. He was always picking on his son for being a total wimp, but in the episode Bully for Steve, he went way too far. After witnessing his boy holding a crossing guard's hand and having a mental breakdown because someone took the last slice of pizza, relatable, Stan decides it's time for a bully to toughen him up.
Out here, I'm not your dad. And as soon as anything gets difficult, you give up. You're a wimp, and you need a bully to toughen you up.
Yes, please. I would love some.
Steve didn't become any less of a wimp, but Stan got taught a serious lesson about bullying when his own childhood bully Stelio Contos showed up and kicked his ass. I'm more surprised that he wasn't arrested, though. Pretending
that
to be a
fight was
kid and
crazy.
trespassing on school premises is literally something Mr. Herbert gets up to in his free time. For our grand finale, we're taking a trip down memory lane and revisiting all the insane abuse Peter has committed against the one person he clearly loves the most on this earth, his daughter Meg. Breaking out is hard to do is the first episode where we see Peter physically assaulting his daughter on screen.
I wonder where we're going.
Calm down! I'll tell you what
Oh.
we're gonna do.
That's
slapped
nothing
her?
compared to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Fonz, though. In this episode, Peter takes steroids and knocks Meg's lights out for simply existing.
Ah, damn it, Meg!
In the Griffin family history, burglars break into the house, but Meg should have been more afraid of her dad's baseball bat.
There are men breaking into our house.
Dad, is somebody downstairs?
As if she hasn't already been put through enough at this point, the entire family then spits on her just so she can slide through the air vent and risk her life making Peter a frackin' sandwich.
Everybody spit on Meg!
Stop! You got
Peter isn't all bad, though. I mean, the episode Road to Rupert shows him helping his insecure daughter feel super, super hot.
Hey, Meg, don't be such a hothead.
What?
In The Tan Aquatic with Steve Zissou, Peter unleashes a deadly fart attack that smells so bad, Meg literally collapses on the floor in a pool of her own vomit.
Oh, in the kitchen, Meg!
In Peter's Daughter, the house floods and Peter forces Meg to swim underwater and rescue his beer.
Peter, Meg's been in there a long time.
While Meg fights for her life in the hospital, Peter feels kinda bad and has some flashbacks
Kinda.
of times he treated his daughter like total garbage.
Hi, Dad.
In Tales of a
Just
Third
shoots
Grade
her.
Nothing, Peter wins a spelling bee, then celebrates by pressing his daughter's face against his butt and ripping ass.
And you're a fart smeller, Meg.
Not All Dogs Go to Heaven reveals that the dad of the year was too lazy to vaccinate his daughter when she was a baby. Meg gets mumps and Peter tries to make her feel better with some homemade soup. The special ingredient is love.
Your mother made soup for you. Here you go, honey.
In We Love You, Conrad, Peter makes it pretty damn clear he won't be attending Meg's wedding if she ever does manage to find a desperate blind guy to marry.
You can give me away when I get married, Dad.
And the rest of the abuse is just Peter farting in Meg's face again.
Mom, have you seen my trapper keeper?
I want you to have this sad-sounding fart.
Well, the scores are in,
the front to
guys.
the
Stan
face
Smith
is
has earned
always
19
these,
points
dude.
for abusing his family, but Peter Griffin has racked up 31 in total.
That was Who Was the Worst Dad? Peter versus Stan. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I see y'all boys later, though.
Life and death and love and birth and peace and war on the planet Earth. Is there anything that's worth more than peace and love on the planet Earth? Whoa, come on and sing it with me.
Sing?
The words relate to the key.
Key?
If it's a pattern, then just repeat after me. Life and death and love and birth and peace and war on the planet Earth. Life and death and